Okie doke. Ready? This is a run through of our project, our playing card design project. Okay, so we're going to start out in Photoshop, end up in Illustrator. Um, this is a review, so I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to take a million years to read this whole thing because we've done it in class. Okay, but just the basics here. Um, Size, color, and quantity. The firm basics for this project are basically on page 3. I mean, they're all firm, of course, but um, here are the deadlines. Page 6, step-by-step submissions, instructions, and then page 7, a checklist of everything that I just had written previously, but just to review. Okay, all right. So let's start on page 3 again. All right, this will help you with the basics here. This is the size to start with in Photoshop, 4 by 5.5, 300 pixels per inch. Okay, here's the color information. And then also you're going to need a clipping mask. So we're going to start with that, okay? Okay, so I'm going to use the same person we've been using and put a clipping mask together here quick. Well, not quick, but anyway, okay. Open with Photoshop. Here we have him. And open with Photoshop. Okay, first thing to check is the size and resolution. Image size. Okay, so you need 300 pixels per inch. That's that. And then in inches, way too small, so we're going to bump it up. 4 by 5.5. So this is vertical, right? Okay. Let's start with. Okay. All right, we'll keep it. We'll keep it 4 inches wide, and then we'll add to the height. Okay. So see how big it got? I can go Command minus on the keyboard and just make it a little smaller. Okay. Now this needs to be compatible in terms of size. So image size, 300 pixels. Let's make it 4 inches wide again. Okay, see what it does to the image size? It used to be 500K, now it's almost 3 megabytes. Okay, now I'm going to go, this is crowded desktop here, but we're going to go Window, Arrange, 2 up. I want to see them both at the same time. Okay, take a look down here. Why does one look bigger than the other, even though we'd made them both 4 inches wide? See, here's the number that pertains to this. This is 50%, this is 66%. So let's just make it the same here. Okay. Layers palette you need, take the lock off, and then same thing here. I click on it, and then the layers palette is specific to which file you're in. Okay. Next step, select and mask. We need to get rid of his background, right? Select and mask. Now we're still in Photoshop. Okay, here's this whole select and mask interface. I'm in this brush tool, and there's a bunch of numbers you can look at. This works nicely when there's a clear definition between what you want to mask and the background. If he had if this is a white background with a white hoodie, it would be really hard to pick out. Okay, I'm going to say okay. Okay, now, so see in the layers, this is a layer mask. Okay, bring over my landscape. Get rid of that. Okay, now I'm going to make a clipping mask. Right click on the words layer 1. Say create clipping mask. Okay. I can move it around, right? Okay. Now we're going to make a gradation to soften up this edge. And I'm going to get into the gradation tool. And we need black on the top. And then we need this little icon here, this layer, add a layer mask. Okay, do that. There we have that. Okay, now I'm in this tool, and it needs to be, here's your options, right? If this doesn't look like your interface, you can go to Window, Workspace, and then Reset Essentials. Okay, because you essentially need this, you need this, and you always, you need layers in the character box and stuff like that. Okay, so now I'm in this tool, and then on here, I'm going to knock this back. Alright, so now we have a sense of a, clipping mask. It's starting to tell a story here. Okay, looks good. I'm going to go Command Z here, which is backing it up. Okay, just do it differently. Alright, now I am going to, what am I going to do here? Okay, I like how it looks, so I'm going to go to Layers. I'm going to merge visible. If we flattened it, it would give you a white background, which I don't want to mess with that. Let me show you though. I'm going to go Command Z, Layer, Flatten Image. That turns it into something else entirely. Okay, we don't want to do that. Okay, so Layer, Merge Visible. Okay, so just as a review, what are we doing here? Alright, we're aiming for a playing card series with a bunch of different specs. And this is just not the right size at all, right? Okay, so we need to add some space to it. So I'm trying to think, do we want space on the bottom, space on the top? Because this is not ideal, the top of his head is cropped off. I don't know, I guess I'll add space to the top. Okay, so image, canvas size. This is a good exercise just to show you how to do something like this. Okay, so I hit this. Alright, I want space at the top because the size has got to be 5 by 5 and 4 by 5 and a half, right? Okay, 5 and a half height. Okay, here we have it. Okay, now I'm going to go back and look at the specs again. Okay, this is just your first out of 3, for example. Number 1, the spec. Size, okay, so far color, quadratone. Of the 4 colors of the quadratone, one should be rather dark, in the middle range grayish. And then the other 3 colors are up to you. Okay. Once you hit OK and still in quadratone, adjust the brightness and the contrast, and then add one area of a tint. Okay. Alright, so that's image, mode, grayscale. Image, mode, duotone. Okay, these are all my colors that had previously been chosen. So one needs to be fairly dark, like grayish. Okay, the rest are up to you. He looks a little dark. I'm going to lighten him up a little. Okay. Alright, remember that you have to you have to add a name or this just won't work. Okay, so I'm just, I don't know what, indigo. Okay, and I just put these other in, it just sort of plays fillers. Okay, good. Alright, still in quadratone. We're going to image, adjustments, brightness and contrast. Brighten them up a little. this is what that bar does. It's interesting. Okay. Alright, now we need a tint. Add a tint. Alright, let's add a tint. I'm going to hold down the mouse in this marquee tool and choose a circle. And hold down Option. That'll give you a... Whoop. Hang on. Option Shift gives you a perfect circle in a certain... Where, the circle starts from the middle of wherever your cursor is. And then... edit, fill with, I'm going to choose the foreground color here. Opacity. So this is what makes it a tint. You can always do it up here also. So, I'm going to cancel because I want to put it over here. Hold on a minute. Alright, I'm going to put it right there. Okay. Edit, fill, 50%, foreground color. Okay. Alright, so there you have a tint. I kind of like how it looks, actually. I'm going to do another one. Okay. Alright, let's go back and look at the specs. Okay, then in RGB, add 1 or 2 spot accent colors and 2 tints with that color or colors. Okay, 1 or 2 accent colors in RGB. So you have to go back, Image, Mode. Because if you didn't change back to RGB, you would never be able to get out of this quadratone color scheme. So now we're going back to RGB. Did I do that? I blinked and I thought it... Hold on. Image mode, yeah, okay. Alrighty, add 1 or 2 accent colors. Alright. Now I'm still working on the same layer. I'm going to add another layer. Alright, here's sort of a salmon-y pink. Okay, alright, there's one or 2 accent colors. We're just going to go with 1. Alright, and then add, what did it say, 2 tints of that color? 2 tints with that color or colors. Okay, 2 separate, 2 separate tints. Alright, here I am here. Let's put another layer on here. Okay, so 2 separate tints. There's 85%, the other was 50. Alright, 85 is like close to 100%, so see, it's kind of dark. I'm going to go back. Make it like 70. So one was 50 and one was 70. Okay, couple tints. Alright. So in total, 9 max, 8 minimum colors. Okay, so this is 4 colors here. This is 5. This is 6. This is 7. And here's that other tint, that's 8. Okay, even though it doesn't look like 8 colors here, there definitely are 8 colors. Okay, so what kind of cards then we get into the theme in general? Alright. Now, page 6. These are all the deadlines, right? Okay. Let's go to page 7. Human face, shoulders up, face is quadratone, limited color. Revert to RGB. Color is quadratone. This is just a pickup from that other page. Okay, use of clipping mask, use of a pattern in the design, plus use of geometric shapes, both. Okay. So pattern, by definition, is like more than one or two. It's like a repeating design element that has sort of a rhythm to it. So let's establish that. Okay. So it did say one or two other spot colors, so I'm going to add another spot color. Like a bluish, purplish. I don't know. I can't seem to get out of my own color scheme that I always pick. Okay. A pattern. All right. Let's put it on a different layer. You can go copy and paste. Just Command C, Command V. Whoops. It jumped over there. I kind of like how it looked over there. Okay, and see how it makes like a new layer every time you do that. This is a good time to start naming your layers, because see how they get to like, oh geez, I don't know what's what. Okay, now I'm going to do something else here. Boom. I'm going to turn all these eyeballs off and then say layer, merge visible. Put them all into one layer. Then I can go Command J, which see if I'm on this layer, Command J duplicates that layer. And then, okay, here we have a pattern. You can go Command J again. Whoops. Alright, here's a pattern. Okay. You know, it's not like the best, but whatever. You know, Okay. It's interesting, you know, what the story that you might be thinking is, I don't know. You know what, this guy is so he looks like he's contemplative, that, I don't know. Anyway. Okay, use of a pattern, plus use of geometric shapes. Alright, check. We've got circles, squares, rectangles, and a sense of a pattern. Okay. Now this is the kind of thing and this is how you're going to be graded. Okay, do you have the clipping mask? Do you have the duotones or the quadratones? Do you have the patterns? You have this, you've got that. Okay. Nice use of negative space. Yes, definitely. You know, look at all this. Use of typography and alternate orientation, up the sides and all around the perimeter. Use copy that pertains to what sort of card you're doing. All right. Okay, use the copy that pertains. All right, now we're in the text tool, and I'm going to take a minute and decide what I'm going to do here. Okay, I'm going to put a line around the whole thing like a frame on the inside. 10 pixels. We'll see how that looks. It's way too little. Okay. It needs to be like 40 pixels because I want to put the copy on top of it. Okay, starting to look a little busy here, huh? I don't like that. Okay. All right, here we have it. Shh, I'm gonna go back. I'm backing up again, sorry. Oh, jeez. One more time here. Okay. All right, that's good. All right, now, words. The words. Okay, your style bold. I'm looking at my fonts here. Your style bold. 25 point. That's good. Okay, I'm going to center it. I'm going to make it white. Let's say okay. And what am I going to say? Needs to correspond, right? It can't be something arbitrary and weird. So what does it correspond to? Oh, golly, I just don't know about that. But you guys have that's part of your theme, so you have to have a series that pertains to a theme, and I just don't know what to do about that. I don't know. I'm just going to put dummy copy. Oop, that's way too big. I'm going to put placeholder copy in here. Just as an example, because I can't think of a theme off the top of my head right now. So this is just placeholder copy. You cannot write that. That's not it's not something that will pertain to you for sure. Okay. Placeholder copy, and I'm going to knock it back a little. Okay. Just in terms of the opacity, and then you can go Command J again, just like we did before. And then I can move that down here. Good. So that's up and down, and then Command J one more time. You can go Command T, which is transform, and go like that. Once the number hits 90, you're there, right? Yeah. Okay. We're going to whip it around 90 degrees. I think this copy's too big, actually. It shouldn't be that big. Okay. Okay, Command T again, you can move things around. Okay. Even it up. And then, take a look at it. 15 point, I'm going to make it 12 point. It's a bold typeface, plus it's all caps. I'm going to stretch it out a little more. Here's your character box, remember that? 100 points. Let's make it 200. Okay. 200 at 12 point. See, it's smaller, more stretched out. I like that look better. Okay. I'm just going to copy that. I selected it, right? Command copy. Let's see if I can just pop it in here. Okay. Instead of redoing that whole thing over and over again with a text box. Okay. Copy, pattern, person, all this stuff. What else? All right. I think that's about it so far. Okay, now to get to our next step, right? Okay, save this for sure. Save it, work in progress. Whoops. Okay, so my objective here is to vectorize it. So we have to open it in Illustrator. So this is, okay, this is tricky here for sure. Hang on a minute. Okay, I'm going to keep all your type. I'm going to combine all these layers here. Hold on. Whoops. Not that one. Okay. Merge visible. You can't see them because they're white. And then whoops. Merge visible. Okay, so now I just have two layers. Now I'm going to stop here because this is getting to be too long and the file will be too big. And I'm going to have this be in two parts. Okay, so I'm stopping here. Oops.